Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name is Brandon. I'll be going over today's webinar. We'll be getting started in just a minute, just trying to get a few more people in, and hopefully everyone can hear me and see my screen. If you're having trouble, let me know, or if you want to use the chat, try to let me know if there's any issues. I see a few people are asking. If you're in the chat, you should be connected, but if you're having trouble hearing me, you can let me know or send a message. Try to make sure everyone could hear me, but it looks like, so yeah, once again, my name is Brandon. I'll be going over today's webinar talking about Google Analytics and Google Search Console and why tracking is so important, because you really want to track as much as you can. Tracking, you'll see why it's important, because it really just shows you everything you want to know about your audience, where they're coming from, what pages they leave on. Data is invaluable, and you have all this data, so let's take advantage of it and start showing you how you can utilize it. And if you don't have analytics set up, that's not a problem either. Don't worry, there's still a lot of good information in here. So again, I'll try to keep it interactive. It's a little tough doing these online with the webinars, but if you have questions, you could use a chat. I want to make sure I cover as much as possible. There is a lot with analytics. This is actually the second round. So this is part 2. I did analytics 2 weeks ago and got through some of it. So I'm not going to talk too much about analytics. I'm going to cover a little bit, and then I'm going to try to get more to Search Console because I didn't really have time last time. And I want to try to cover as much as I can. And I'll be doing these webinars every week on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So definitely keep coming out, and if you do have specific topics you want me to go over in the future, let me know, throw it in the chat. See a few questions coming in about the slides, and I will be sending a copy of the presentation after it, so you don't have to worry about taking all the notes. Let me see a few other questions. Barbara, yeah, I am from San Pedro originally, so thanks for coming out and finding me at General Assembly. So I also teach classes at General Assembly. I do these online, but really my main focus is doing SEO. If I just taught these classes, I wouldn't really know what's going on with digital marketing. Everything is so dynamic and changes so fast. What works today might not work tomorrow, especially with digital marketing. So these classes, I'm just doing them right now just to kind of give back and help out. Usually I do them every once in a while. Every few weeks I'll do a class, but right now, since everyone's in quarantine and want to kind of help out and give back, so doing these classes on different topics. Today, I'm going to go really into analytics and explain what analytics are, why you need it, how to set it up, kind of trying to talk about as much as I can. Unfortunately, it's only 50 minutes or 40 minutes, so I'll try to jump right into it. And I guess everyone's here to learn about how to get more traffic to your website. Specifically, well, now it's not how to get traffic to your website, but how to make use of all this traffic that's coming to your website. What can you infer? What decisions can you make? Do you want to optimize your website, change the layout, change the structure, maybe test out moving the add to cart button to buy now button? I mean, once you get traffic, you can really test everything. And the more you test, the more you're going to learn about your traffic, and the more you're going to be able to better optimize that traffic to become a client or a lead or a phone call or an email, because traffic is great, but we all want conversions. That's the ultimate goal, is we all have some conversion goal. Either we want them to sign up to our email list or become a client, call you up, whatever it may be. Traffic is great, but we have to take that traffic, that data from the traffic, and make use of it. Like I do SEO, I'll get you traffic from search engine optimization, meaning get you traffic from Google. But once I get that traffic to your website, we really have to optimize your website to best make use of that traffic. A lot of clients, I'll start ranking them for all these different keywords, and they're getting a ton of traffic, but their website might not look the best on mobile, or it might have issues where pop-ups appear too quickly, or the checkout might have too many buttons. There's a lot of variables that go into it. So it is all about testing, which you'll see all this information will be out there. All this data will be out there for you to just make use of it and really decide how to best optimize your website. And my name is Brandon Leibowitz. For anyone that hasn't come to my classes, I've been involved with digital marketing since about 2007. Got my degree in business marketing, went to Cal State Long Beach, got my degree. In 2007, 2008, the recession hit, so it was kind of tough to get a job back then. it was a little tricky. So back then in 2007, 2008, the recession hit, and this one company near my house said, we want to teach you about internet marketing. We know that you don't have much experience in digital marketing. We don't have much experience either. And we're going to take you to classes and seminars like this, go to workshops and read up in blogs and forums and really just learn on my own, because there's not much out there. And I mean, back then, nowadays there's a lot more out there, like General Assembly, if you might have found me through there, or SCORE, all these other resources. But even then, you never know really what's accurate, what's up to date. So it is really just all about testing. And ever since 2007, 2008, I got that job working for an e-commerce company. I was helping out with their email marketing. I was helping out with their paid search, doing Google ads, doing SEO, doing a lot of different stuff, doing social media. And I realized back then that SEO is free traffic. And if you can get free traffic to your website, it's a lot better than paying. So that's really what I've been focused on since then, is just helping other companies get more free organic traffic from Google. I've worked at advertising agencies. I've worked at small mom and pop shops. I've worked at everything in between. So if you do have any questions or specific topics, let me know, throw it in the chat. I'll try to answer as many as I can. Right now, I have a company. It's called SEO Optimizers. So doing SEO full time. So if you do have a website, you want me to check it out later on, I can give you an analysis. But today, I'm really just going to talk about analytics, which ties into all aspects of digital marketing. It doesn't just tie into SEO. With analytics, it's important for really just marketing in general, because data is invaluable. So think about like Facebook and all these other companies that have been getting in trouble these past couple of years for data breaches. I mean, data is so valuable, especially when you have that data already, and it's just all about setting up the tracking codes and just making sure it's all there. But the data lets you make informed decisions instead of just guessing and saying, let me move this button here, or let me add this page. Now you can really make informed decisions about what is working, what's not working, where your traffic comes from. Instead of just guessing, now you have data to go and statistically back it up. So more of data-backed decisions that is statistically accurate. Again, we're going to look at data and make sure you have, even if you're getting 1 or 2 visitors a day to your website. So people come to me and say, I don't get that much traffic, Brandon. This isn't going to be for me. But if you're getting a couple people a day, that's still data that we could still use to make informed decisions. The more data, the more accurate it'll be. But if you're getting a couple people to your website a day, we just have to look at, instead of looking at 1 month, maybe let's look at the last 6 months of data. That way it's more accurate or more unbiased. And the thing is, everyone has this data. You have it already. You just have to tap into it. So if you have a website, well, anyone that has a website has this data. You just have to activate it. So the data is there. You just have to sign up for one of these different tools, which I'll touch on in a second. Then you'll start being able to grab this data. Having Shopify analytics or WordPress analytics, those are all okay, but we're going to really talk about more of Google Analytics. All these other analytical tools are okay, but they don't really show you the full picture like Google Analytics will, like Facebook Analytics and all the other platforms. It's not going to really show everything. So if you really want to know the full story, well, first I'll talk about Google, what is analytics. Then I'll touch on Google Analytics, what that is, how to use it. And I'll go also into Google Search Console. I did this class 2 weeks ago, so I'm not sure if anyone's been or came a few weeks ago where I did this class on analytics already. So I don't want to dive too much into Google Analytics because I spent a lot of time last week on that. I'll touch on it for a few minutes, but today I want to talk more about Search Console and explain what Google Search Console is and how to best utilize it, why it's really important, because I mean, both tools are very informative and very helpful, but each one has a different purpose. One has more of data informed decisions. The other one is more for SEO, which I'll explain what that is in a second. But first, analytics. Again, I'm going to kind of skip over some of this stuff because I went over it last week. I'm going to do these classes every week, and I do have a 5-hour class on Saturday that goes in depth about all this stuff. So if you do want to check that out, let me know if this isn't enough, because I'm happy to dive in as much as I can. I just want to give the people that have been coming the past couple of weeks some new information and not repeat the same stuff over and over again. So, but again, it's all going to be relevant. What I want to talk about is what is or website analytics. Again, there are a lot of different tools out there for analytics. I want to really primarily talk about Google Analytics since it's from Google and it's free and it's going to show you everything you want to know about your traffic. Too much information. If you're using Shopify or Squarespace or one of these other platforms, and they're giving you analytics, even Facebook analytics or Instagram analytics. It's not the full story. We need to use Google Analytics. There's other tools out there, but they're paid tools and they're pretty expensive. So I would stick with Google Analytics, unless your company wants to pay for it. I think one is called Adobe Site Catalyst. I think it might be $100,000 a month. So if you have a big corporation that wants to go for it, go for it. But if not, I would just say do analytics. I see a couple questions coming in about recording the class, and I will be recording it. So I'll be sending out a copy of it. So don't worry about trying to take all the notes. Just if you do have analytics, I would try to follow along on your own, or if you have Search Console. But I'll be sending this out. Hopefully everyone could hear me. I hear there's an echo, so I am going to be buying a mic. I'm not sure if everyone hears this echo, but yeah, sorry about this. The webinars are all kind of new to me, so I'm going to get something to make sure it's more crisp next time. And so yeah, if you want, and I see a couple questions for the Saturday class. I'll throw the link in the chat. So the 5-hour class, it's normally $200, but since we're in quarantine and it'll be online webinar, I can do it for $99. So I've changed the price from $200 to $99 since I don't have to pay for a room, which is pretty expensive. Usually around LA, it's going to be $800 for a room. So if you do want to check it out, I threw it in the chat, seooptimizers.com/learn. So, but I'll give everyone more of that information later. But Google Analytics, it's free. And if you go to analytics.google.com, or if you just search in Google for Google Analytics, it'll pop up. And I'm not going to explain how to install it. I kind of touched on that last week, how to install Google Analytics. You get a tracking code. So you go to this website, analytics.google.com. They're going to give you a tracking code. You place that on your website. There's a lot of different ways to put the tracking code. If you don't know how to put the tracking code, I would just search in Google how to install Google Analytics for Shopify if you're using Shopify. Or if you're on Wix, how to install Google Analytics for Wix. And it'll show you exactly how to do it. If you do need help, I can help you out later on. But again, right now, I don't have time to really go into it. But Search Console is another tool. It's free. It's from Google. It's called Google Search Console. It used to be called Google Webmaster Tools. It changed last year to Google Search Console. This tool will show you everything you want to know about your website, the SEO, what keywords you rank for, which is really informative, which I'll show you all this stuff. Like you can see what keywords you rank for, any errors on your website, any broken pages, if you've been penalized from Google. There's a lot of information in here. You go to google.com/webmasters/tools, and that will take you to Google Search Console. Same thing as before, like you go to Google Search Console, just like Google Analytics, you have to sign in, create an account. You're gonna they'll give you a tracking code. You put that tracking code on your website. That proves to Google Analytics that you own this website, and it proves to Google Search Console that you own this website, because they don't want to show data to anyone. So if you install Analytics, you'll automatically have Search Console installed. You just have to install Google Analytics one time and you're done. The sooner you install it, the more data you're going to get about your traffic, the better off you're going to be. So Google Analytics, Google Search Console, 2 different tools. Both of them are free from Google. And this is what I use when I'm reporting to clients. I'm going to take this data straight from Google Analytics and from Google Search Console, because it's directly from Google. There's no manipulating it or trying to change it or trying to skew it to make it look better. This is just the raw data, and that's the best way for you to look at your traffic. And for if you have a company that's you're paying to do SEO, or this is how you should really have a reporting done, because it's not going to be from some other tool. This is strictly from Google. There's no changing anything. And I see a couple people don't have picture or sound. I'm not sure what's going on or how to fix that. Sorry about that. But Jody, where do you find the tracking code on your website? So there's a lot of different ways to put the tracking code on your website. I would just search in Google how to install the tracking code for my platform, and it'll show you how to do it. In Google Analytics, Google Analytics, it's going to show you data about your website. So traffic coming to your website, where they're coming from, what pages people come from to find you, what pages people leave from, how long they stay on your website, if they're on mobile versus desktop. If you're an e-commerce website, you can see what your top product pages are. If you're a blog, you can see which blog posts get the most traffic. I mean, this stuff is going to it's a gold mine of data. This data is going to tell you so much information about your traffic. I mean, there's too much information here. I will even show you what country people are coming from, what city, where, if they're using the iPhone, iPhone 7, iPhone 11, iPhone 10, Samsung Galaxy, the Google Pixel will show you a lot of information. Too much information. I tell everyone, just go with analytics and click on everything. You're not going to do any harm. You're not going to break anything. You're just going to learn a ton of good information about your traffic. And I kind of went to analytics last week, so I don't want to spend too much time on Google Analytics. I want to get more into Search Console, but I'll show you a couple quick places that I look in analytics. So let me switch over. All right, so hopefully everyone can see my screen. So here is Google Analytics. So if you install Google Analytics, you have to sign up, create an account with Google Analytics, get the tracking code, install the tracking code on your website. Then Google's going to start showing you the data, and then you can start seeing where your traffic's coming from. So there's a lot of stuff in here. Again, I don't want to show you everything, but if I were you, I would just go and click on everything. You're not going to do any harm. You're not going to break anything. You're just going to learn a ton of data about your traffic. So if you go on the left-hand side, this is where I always go for my clients, myself. I'm always going to acquisition on the left-hand side, and that says all traffic. And then it says source medium. This is where I'm going consistently. Everything else I'm going to look at least once or twice, but acquisition, all traffic, source medium is going to show me everything I want to know about my traffic, where they're coming from, what traffic sources I'm getting, where I'm getting my traffic. So as you can see, and there's a lot of stuff here. The only thing I might change at the top right is the date range. Right now, this website gets, let's see, about 400 visitors to it a day. So I could look at the last week, but if you were only getting maybe a couple visitors, you might want to change the date range. You click right here on the date, you could click, change it to the last 30 days, 60 days, 6 months. I mean, the more data, the more statistically accurate it will be. Same with Search Console, but right now, we'll just look right here, and we could see in the past week how much traffic this website's got received. So you can see where the traffic's coming from. So you can see Google brought 81% of the traffic. And there's a lot of stuff in here. I don't want to go over everything, but 81% of the traffic comes from Google. And this is kind of across the board, but I'm looking at hundreds of clients, maybe thousands over the years, because I've been doing digital marketing since 2007. I've seen a lot of analytics for different websites. Google brings about 20 to 80% of the traffic. Bing will probably bring around 1%. Yahoo might bring about 1%. It's kind of crazy. The rest will come from like social media, email marketing, but you'll see. And I could change it to any account. So Google brought in 81%. Direct means people just directly coming to your website. Maybe you had an article published on the LA Times. They clicked on a link, they got to your website, or they typed in your website.com. T.co is Twitter's URL shortener. But then here's Bing. 0.44% of the traffic is coming from Bing. 10 visitors came from Bing compared to 1,800 came from Google. Big difference. I mean, still 10 visitors is 10 visitors. Not gonna say it's bad, but you can see how much traffic comes from Google. Yahoo brings in 0.31%. DuckDuckGo is a new search engine that's more privacy oriented. That's not tracking everything. So this is one that I've seen really gaining more popularity in the past couple months. We'll have to see if it keeps growing, but this one I see almost outranking Yahoo or getting more traffic than Yahoo and Bing sometimes. So yeah, we'll just have to see. Everybody's traffic is different. Everyone's audience is different. So it's always going to be different for everyone. But this is where I really go to look and see how much traffic am I getting from Google. Is it increasing over time, dropping? What are the fluctuations? Does traffic come from other sources? There's a lot of data in here to look at and shift through. I don't want to go through everything because I don't want to waste too much time, but this is the most important place in analytics that I look at. The other quick place I like to look on the left-hand side is called behavior, site content, all pages. This is going to show me which pages of mine are getting the most traffic. So I could see, like if you're a blog, you can see which blog posts get the most traffic. If you're an e-commerce website, you can see which pages or products get the most traffic. So you can start seeing like this page got 600 visitors, 348 visitors came here. So you can start looking at it. You can see a lot of information, how many page views, page time on site, how much time they spend on each page, how many people entered on this page for entrances, but bounce rate, how many people came to this website and left immediately. That's what I really want to look at. 63% of the people that came to this website left immediately. then I can start seeing which pages have the highest bounce rate and try to fix those pages. Like this page has 83% of the people that come to this page left immediately. Something is wrong with this page. Either the page loads slowly, it doesn't look good on mobile. I mean, who knows? There's a lot of variables. Don't have time to go into bounce rate and what causes it, but just be aware. This is going to show you a lot of information that Facebook ads, Google ads, they're not going to show you this information. So bounce rate is one of the really important places I'm going to look at in terms of websites. On average, a website should have about 40 to 60% bounce rate, which seems really high, but that's just kind of how a normal website is. About half of your traffic is going to leave immediately. So it's kind of strange, but yeah, so this website has a 63% bounce rate, which means it's on the high end. So I want to go in and just optimize, see what's going on. Why is it getting such a high bounce rate? Is the website not loading properly? What is going on? Why are people coming and leaving immediately? So, but then you can start seeing what pages specifically are getting higher bounce rates. And then if you're running ads, you can see the bounce rate back where we were looking at before under acquisition on traffic source medium. If you're running Facebook ads, you can see, am I getting a bounce rate? What is it? Because Facebook is not going to tell you that stuff. Facebook is going to tell you, we got you 500 visitors to your website. But what happens after those people come to your website? You're not going to know without looking in analytics. And here's where you start seeing where the bounce rate is like 100% bounce rate came from Aweber. So if I was running ads on this website, I'd be like, got to kill those ads instantly. 100% of the people that came from this traffic source left immediately. And there's only 4 people, but still 4 people coming and leaving immediately. That's not a good sign. So we want to aim for the lower the better, but 40 to 60% is average, which is kind of high. And yeah, for anyone coming late, I will send out a copy of this and be sharing everything with everybody. So analytics. So, and Eric, that was just from Google Analytics. So analytics.google.com. Oh, what website is that for? That's just one of my own personal websites about social media marketing. So, but here is Google Search Console. So yeah, again, I don't want to spend too much time on analytics because I went over it last week or 2 weeks ago, but probably will do more of these classes just because analytics, data, there's so much I want to talk about, but there's not much time. Probably will have to do a whole 5-hour class on it just in analytics. It's so much information in it, so much data, but next week or this Saturday, I'm doing a 5-hour one on SEO and social media. So if you want to check that out, you can let me know, and I put that link in the chat. So I can throw it back in there. Search Console, though, is going to show you everything you want to know about SEO information about your website, how it's performing, if there's any issues, any errors on your website, any broken pages, is it loading slowly? There's a lot of information in Search Console, and this is all free as well. So just like you go to Google Analytics and sign up, go to Google Search Console, sign up, create an account, get the tracking code, put it on your website, and then you're going to learn all about what keywords people are actually using to find your website, because I mean that really is pretty useful. So Search Console is more for SEO data, or it's specifically made for SEO. So it shows you what keywords you rank for, which analytics is not going to show you that information. And you can see how much traffic your keywords are getting, what position you ranked on those keywords. So there's a lot of cool stuff in there. It lets you see if there's any errors, any issues. And Peter's asking, do you have to install a tracking code for Analytics and Search Console? And if you install the tracking code for Google Analytics, you don't have to install it for Search Console. It will automatically sync up. So, but there's a lot of different ways to install the tracking code. You could use Google Tag Manager. You can install it manually. You could hard code it. Again, I know a lot of people are having issues with that, but if you just search how to install Google Analytics and then put your platform name in there, like Shopify, will show you an article about how to install it. Here's what Search Console looks like. There's a lot more. It's more technical. It can be a little overwhelming to people. Just like with analytics, I say click on everything. You're not going to do any harm. You're not going to break anything. It's not going to cause any issues. So let me pull up Search Console and show you. So here is what Search Console looks like. So you go sign up for Google Search Console, create an account, then you'll be taken to this page. It's going to show you a lot of information here. It's going to show you like errors, if there's any errors on your page. You can see. So again, I'll try to cover as much as I can. There is a lot in Search Console, but you could just, if you log into Search Console, you can automatically see any errors. So I could see speed, experimental. It's showing there's some errors right here. So I could click there and see any errors. Mobile usability, no errors. That's good. You want to make sure your website's mobile friendly, because if it's not mobile friendly, Google is not going to show you on cell phones. And 60% of the traffic nowadays is coming from mobile. So if your website's not mobile friendly, if you have some errors here, I would fix that immediately. You need to make sure your website's mobile friendly. Site speed, it's important, but it's not the biggest ranking factor. It's important for people coming to your website that your website loads fast, but for Google, I search and I've looked at a lot of websites. I see a lot of websites that rank #1 on Google that have really low, slow scores. They load really slowly. So with SEO, I always tell people, SEO is like a puzzle. You want to put all the pieces together. Some pieces are bigger than others. Like site speed, it's not the biggest piece of that puzzle. It does help out, but it's not the means to an end. So don't stress over it. A lot of people worry a lot about site speed. It's important, but it's not the biggest deal for SEO. For usability and user experience, 100% it's important, but for SEO, it's not going to make or break your site. So don't worry too much about that. But here's a lot of other stuff, breadcrumbs. Again, I don't want to touch on all these. All these are kind of confusing. I go over them in my paid class or my full day classes or other classes, but right now I want to just really show you the data. So FAQ, there's FAQ. So this is all schema markup. If you go to schema.org, I'll throw it in the chat. Schema.org is a language to enhance your listing and make it stick out. So let me show you an example. Just really quickly of schema. So here is, I see a couple questions coming in. Search Console only shows mobile usability. How do I get more items? So if it's not showing more information, then it just doesn't have enough data collected. You might need to just get more traffic, or just wait, give it some time, or you need to incorporate schema, which is called schema.org. So this is one of my websites. You can see these stars appear. These stars are from schema. So Google Search Console is letting me know, like right here, products, or stars, or site links. These are all from schema, FAQ, breadcrumbs. So this is all from schema.org. So if you don't see any enhancements, it just means you're not enhancing your website. What you're enhancing your website means you're making it, you're marking up your website with a coding language called schema.org. I'll throw it in the chat, or I threw it in the chat, but that's a coding language that Google, Bing, and Yahoo created like 5 or 6 years ago, and said, if you add that to your website, we're gonna make your listings stick out. We're gonna make, we'll give you stars. Or if you search for like Staples Center or Lakers, well, I know sporting games are not going on right now, but you can see in real time the games or the schedule in here. That's all from schema. Or recipes, like product recipes. So if you go to schema.org, I'll just show you on the website. And I want to talk about schema.org. It's really technical, and I don't know coding, so don't worry, you don't need to know coding either. I would pass this on to a web developer and have them add this, but schema.org is a way to enhance it. Sonia was asking, how do I block your own visits from showing in analytics? So you 100% want to make sure you block yourself from Google Analytics, which I showed last week. You have to go into settings and go to filters and filter your IP address. Again, I don't want to repeat it from last week, but I will show it in other classes. But right now, I just want to just show you as much as possible on Search Console, because there is a lot in here. And so schema is a way to get these enhancements. So if you only have mobile or speed and you don't have the rest of these, that's okay. It's not a big deal. You don't have to worry. But if you do want to mark your website up, schema.org is how you get these enhancements. So right now you can see I'm on the left-hand side on overview, and there's a lot of stuff that we just saw right now. I didn't even click on anything, but I could click on, so the most important place I look at is on the left-hand side. It says search results under performance. So performance, and then it says search results. These are my keywords that I'm ranking for. So here's a lot of information. You can see all these numbers. I like to click on average CTR and average position. That way I could see that data as well. And then now I could see what's going on with my traffic, or what keywords am I ranking for. So here, this data, again, this is from Google. They're not going to show you all of your data. They're only going to show you your top 1,000 keywords, which is nice, but it's not really enough. So just be aware, Google doesn't really want you to know what keywords you rank for. So this is all kind of top secret. Google's nice to show you 1,000. Google used to show this in Google Analytics, but Google Analytics, or Google said, we don't want to show you this, because Google really only wants to, they make money off advertisement. If you're doing SEO, Google's not making any money, so Google doesn't want to really help you do SEO. They make it tough, so they made this tool, Google Search Console. Google Webmaster Tools a few years ago. And this is where you get this data now to see what keywords you're ranking for. So in here, I could see, and there's a lot of stuff in here. I'm not going to go over everything, but I want to show you the more important things. So query means what keyword. Clicks means how many clicks. So this word plus followers, this first one, got 5,259 clicks. And then you can see right here, it says date range above that. So we're looking at the last 3 months. You can change the date range to 3 months, 6 months. They don't give you unlimited data in Search Console. They delete it after, I think, 9 months or a year because they don't want you to know this data. They don't want you to know SEO. So they'll give you this data for a few months or a few, like 9 months or a year, but after that it gets deleted. So I can see how many people clicked on my website, how many impressions means how many people saw me, searched for the word plus followers. So 16,000 people searched for the word plus followers. Out of those 16,000 people, 5,259 of those people clicked onto my website, which is a click-through rate of 31.8%, which is really high. I mean, on average, 3% click-through rate is a good one, but this is my company name or branded keyword, so that's why it's so high. But in general, 3% click-through rate is good. And then it says position 2.5. This means on average, your position 2.5. That means I might be number 1 for when I search and number 5 for when you search, because when we both search, Google is going to always show different results. It's always going to be slightly personalized towards what you're looking for, depending on your location, your past search history. So anytime you do search, you want to make sure if you're searching for your keywords, log out, go incognito. But on average, it's saying 2.5. So if right here it says I'm position 10.4, that means on average, I might be position 10, but I might be number 1 for some people or number 20 for some people, some other people searching. So just be aware of this. This is going to show you your top 1,000 keywords. So this is where I would spend a lot of time and dive into this. See where you're on page or where you're on page 1. Maybe you're position 9 or number 8 or number 7 or 6. What if you're not the top number 1 position? Those are opportunities to rank for that. You're that close to being on that first position. You just have to do a couple more backlinks or do some SEO. So this is where I dive in and do some, look around and see where is this low-hanging fruit where if I just make a couple changes, I could quickly start ranking. Like this one, position 2.1. So maybe making some changes, building some backlinks will get me to position 1. So these are all hidden gems. There's a lot of data in here. I would just spend some time, click around. Another place I like to look. So I see a couple other questions. Do you use Google Analytics or for Yelp? So Moreno is asking, can I use Google Analytics to see Yelp? Yep. So Google Analytics will show you everything, where your traffic's coming from. But Google Search Console now, what I'm on, is going to show me what keywords people are finding me on. So on the left-hand side, there's a lot of other stuff here. I want to click on Sitemaps. Sitemaps are roadmaps for Google to find the pages on your website. Without a sitemap, Google's probably not going to find half the pages that exist on your website. Everyone should have a sitemap. If you don't have a sitemap, there's tools out there that will create one. Here is how you can check really quickly. Is if you just go to any website, it doesn't really matter, any website, you can go to /sitemap.xml. So everyone should do this on your own website, and it should pull up a sitemap. If it doesn't pull up one, you might have to speak with your hosting company. I mean, not your hosting company, your web developer, and ask them, can you create a sitemap? But sitemap is a listing of all the pages on your website. You create a sitemap, well, most websites will have a sitemap, and then you submit the sitemap to Google, and that's going to let them know all the pages exist. I'm not sure why it's loading so slowly, but here, I'll just show you, like, let's go to Target or something like that. So schema.org, created by Google. They probably don't need a sitemap. Well, maybe this isn't the best example either. Some people hide their sitemaps. But if anyone has if anyone doesn't have a sitemap, you'll let me know in the chat if you see that you're not having one. Well, let's go to my website. It'll be easier. Sitemap.xml. Sorry, wasn't giving the best examples, but that sitemap.xml is going to be this coded page that shows all the different URLs. So here's my sitemap for my website. I can click on here. Here's a sitemap for the blog posts, the blog pages. I can click on this pages one. This is going to be all the different pages on my website. So this is telling Google, here are all the pages on my website. Please index them. So you have this sitemap. You go into Google Search Console. You submit your sitemap there. And then they'll show you success or failure. They'll let you know any issues. And this is going to let you know. You can see how many pages Google found. Google found 339 pages on my website. If you know you have more pages than that, and it's not showing it in there, and then you have to go in and fix that sitemap. But this is so important. I've worked at e-commerce websites that had 10,000 products on their website, and they were wondering why they weren't getting that much traffic. A lot of products weren't getting sales, and I realized, I looked, and Google didn't find half their pages weren't indexed in the search results. So by creating the sitemap and search it and submitting it to Google, it pretty much doubled their traffic overnight, just because Google now found all the pages on their website and started giving them credit for it. So you find your sitemap, and then you submit it to Google Search Console one time, and you're done. You never have to do it again. Then you can see if there's any errors, success, any issues. Maybe there's old sitemaps. I might want to delete some old ones, but there's a lot of information in there. Candace, why would Google not see those pages? So Google is a robot, and the way Google works is Google is going to find, like, Google probably doesn't even find your website. Like, anytime someone starts a business, your website isn't going to be found by Google. It takes a couple of days, weeks, months for Google to find your website. Just because your website's hidden, Google is not going to know. So the way for Google to find your website is just by having by sharing your website, by other websites talking about you. If you got an article published on the LAtimes.com and there's a clickable link that points to your website, Google will find you. But without without doing anything, Google's probably not going to find your website. Even if Google does find your website, they're probably just going to find a couple pages on your website. They're not going to find all the pages on your website. So you need to have, unless you have a really good site structure and site hierarchy, even then, Google's still probably not going to find half the pages on your website, if not more. So creating a sitemap, or not creating it, but submitting your sitemap is a quick, easy way to get a lot more traffic. If you don't have a sitemap, if you're using Shopify, they give you a sitemap automatically. If you're using WordPress, I would just install plugins like Yoast SEO or All-in-One SEO. Then you'll have a sitemap. Squarespace, Wix, they should give you one. If you don't have one, there's free tools called Free Sitemap Generator. I think is the URL, or xml-sitemaps.com. Or, you just go to any of these websites. They'll create the sitemap for you. You add it to your website, submit it to Google, and that's really like giving Google a roadmap. Here are all the pages on my website. Show them in your search results. So sitemap is a quick, easy win. Again, there's a lot of other stuff in here. I don't have time to talk about all this stuff, but security and manual actions. So on the left-hand side, you have been penalized from Google. So Google will penalize people sometimes. On the left-hand side, it says security manual actions. This is where if you have any security issues or anything if you did SEO incorrectly and you got penalized, this is where you're going to find out. Luckily, it says no issues detected, but if you did have any issues, this is where you're going to find out. Maybe you hired an SEO company 6 years ago. They did SEO, and SEO's changed, and now it's hurting your rankings more than it's going to help you. This is where you're going to see that information. Candace was asking, how often should you submit the sitemap? You just submit it one time and you're done. You never have to submit it again. That's the nice part, is the sitemap will automatically update. Anytime you add a new page to your website, it'll automatically add a new page. Anytime you delete a page, it'll take that off the sitemap. So you submit the sitemap one time, you're done. That's why it's a quick, easy win that a lot of people, a lot of this stuff is really technical. You're not really supposed to know it. You own a business or you're running marketing agency, you don't have to know all these little technical nuances, but for SEO, unfortunately, there's a lot of these little weird things that Google's looking for that have a big impact on those rankings. And that's really the most important part of SEO, is just getting Google to become aware of what's going on your website and making sure everything looks good and clean in here. So I would, again, just check and make sure that there's no errors, there's no issues, there's nothing popping up negative that's popping up, or any broken links or things like that. Again, I didn't really get through everything. I probably will have to do this class again in the future. Next week, I am doing a class on YouTube, which I did last week, but I didn't really get through that one either because 40 minutes, there's not that much time. But next week, I will be going over YouTube optimizations. how to optimize your website or how to rank your videos in YouTube. I am doing that Saturday class, so I threw the link in there. It's this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time. This class, keep it small, personalized. It's 10 people or less. Keep it more hands-on, one-on-one. Right now, there's over 100 people in here, so it's tough for me to get through all the questions, but I'll stick around for a few more minutes. So if you do have any questions that I didn't answer or didn't get through, let me know. Throw it in the chat. But if you do want to come out to that class on Saturday, let me know. I throw it in the chat, or it's SEOoptimizers.com/learn. And that really goes into everything you need to know about SEO, how to make changes to your website, how to do keyword research, how to add those keywords to your website, social media, and a lot of other stuff. And if you do want a website analysis, SEO is what I do full time. So if you want me to check out your website, you go to SEOoptimizers.com/free. I will happily give you a quick analysis of your website, let you know any issues that are standing out, any blaring issues, keyword research, backlinks, all of these other, or whatever you want to talk about, social media, link building, articles, press releases. You just let me know, and happy to go over that. And if you want 60 of my favorite SEO tools and social media tools, if you text the word SEO to the number 313131, I'll send you over a list of 60 of my favorite tools. I saw in the chat earlier someone didn't get that last time, so if you didn't get it, let me know. Maybe try again. It should work. If it doesn't work, let me know, or send me an email. My email is brandon@seooptimizers.com. So I want to make sure everyone gets all that information. And Sarah was asking a question. Brandon, can you quickly mention the difference between the medium and Google Analytics? So the source medium is just where the traffic is coming from. So source medium is just where that traffic is coming from. You can name it yourself, but usually websites name it for you. So Sarah was asking, like, referral, organic, CPC, email. Like organic traffic means SEO traffic. CPC, AdWords traffic. And I'll try to talk on it a little bit in a minute, but maybe you could expand on what that question was, Sarah. And do I offer other SEO courses? And yep, I do SEO courses. I'm going to do weekly ones. So I'll send over everyone a link to the next week's class if you want to come check that out. And Lulu, thanks for this question though. How is SEO Optimizers different from SEO help you might get from Wix? I'm not really sure what Wix is giving you for SEO help, but in terms of SEO, you want to go in and make changes to like your title tag and description. You want to build backlinks. That's the biggest part. If you're not building backlinks actively, I'm not sure what Wix is doing. I'm sure they're doing some on-page SEO, but you really need to do keyword research, find the right keywords that people are searching for, put those into the title tag on your website, the meta description, schema, alt tags, canonical tags. There's a lot of different places to put those keywords, and then building backlinks. I'm not sure what Wix is doing. If you want to let me know later or email me, I can look and try to see what's going on. And Mariana, if you manage multiple websites, can you have them all in one account? And yep, you can have as many websites as you want in one account. I have all my clients linked in or added to my Google Analytics account, so I just have to log in one time and I could look through everyone else's. And yeah, Galina's Wix is horrible. Yeah, I know Wix probably is not going to be doing the best SEO. So I'm not sure, like, if you're paying like GoDaddy or one of these websites to do SEO, they're not doing full SEO. They're just doing a little bit of it, but you really need to be building backlinks. That's so important. I mean, a lot of these companies will just do basic SEO, but if they're not building backlinks, but good, right quality backlinks, if you're building backlinks and it's the wrong type, it's going to hurt you more than it's going to help you. But just be aware. Yeah, so just be aware of that stuff. Come out to my class if you want me to really dive into all that stuff on Saturday, or come out to next week's class. Ethan, where do you upload your sitemap to your root domain folder? So if you don't have a sitemap, you're going to have to upload the sitemap to your root domain using FTP. Kind of a little technical, but if you don't have a sitemap, if you're getting stuck, maybe you could ask your web developer. They could help you out with that, but you have to upload it to your website, depending on what platform. Every platform is different, so it's tough for me to really go into it right now, or for everyone, but you do add it to your root. And Karen, what was the text to get the word? So if you text the word SEO to the number 313131, then you'll get that copy. And GoDaddy is bad too. I could see from Galena's in the chat. Yep, so I do all SEO myself. I'm not outsourcing it to anyone. It's all me. SEO Optimizers is my company. I'm the only one here. It's all me. Candace, do I have a class on backlink strategy? I'll do that probably in a couple weeks. Probably in like maybe 3 or 4 weeks, I'll talk about backlink strategy because I just did one a couple weeks ago. And I'm trying to do different topics each week, but keep coming back because I'm going to do each one or different topics every single week. But if you really want to learn about that one, come out Wednesday. And that's where I'm going to really dive into that as well. On Wednesday, I spend like 2 hours going into backlinks. It's so important. I'll throw that in the chat again. And Lauren, Wix SEO isn't going to catapult your search ranking, but I suppose it's better than nothing. I advise using another SEO strategy for optimal results. So yeah, I mean, Wix, all those sites, doing something is great, but just be aware you kind of get what you pay for. If you're just paying 20, 50 bucks, 100 bucks a month there, and then you're going through Wix or GoDaddy, you got to think about how many clients they have. Thousands, tens of thousands of clients. You're just a number on their board. And if you're not one of their top paying clients, they're going to throw you down to the very bottom and not give you that time and care that you really need. So just be aware. And I do SEO. If you are paying an SEO company right now to do SEO, you want to email me any of the reports. I can check it out, see if they're on the right track, if it's working, if it's not working. But really, analytics is where you need to be looking. That's going to show you everything about where your traffic is coming from, what keywords you're ranking for. Is this company that you're paying to do your SEO, is it working? Is it not working? And Quinn, do SEO experts specialize in certain markets for unique businesses? Some people specialize in real estate or doctors, but it really doesn't make sense because with SEO, it's not about specializing. I work with a lot of people. I don't even know when I start off, I don't know anything about their industry, but then I learn about it. It's really just about learning what keywords people search for, which you'll tell me. I'll do my own keyword research, but I really look at your competition, see what your competitors are using for their keywords. Then I'll use different tools to make sure the keywords actually have search volume. And then I'll implement them onto the website. And then when I'm building backlinks, it's really just building the same type of backlinks, but making sure that they're relevant to that industry. So if I'm working with a doctor, I want to get other backlinks that are related to health. If I'm building backlinks for myself for SEO, I want to get other marketing related websites to link out to me. So I could work with anybody. If you do SEO or work in marketing, you can work for anyone. You don't have to just specialize in one industry. A lot of clients or some website or companies do that, but it's not really necessary. I see someone's asking, is Adobe Analytics better than Google Analytics? And Adobe Analytics, Site Catalyst, I've never used it specifically. Analytics really isn't my strong point, but I just use it all the time for reporting. But Analytics, Adobe Site Catalyst, I forget how much you have to pay for it, but it's pretty expensive. Whereas Google Analytics is free, so I prefer Analytics from Google. But if you are getting thousands of people to your website, you might want to look at Site Catalyst or Google Analytics Premium, which Google Analytics has a paid version. I forget how much it costs. I think it might cost $250,000 a year or something crazy like that. It's pretty insane. So if you are getting, which hopefully I hope everyone gets to that level soon, where you're getting tens of thousands of visitors to your website, Google Analytics is like, wait, we can't give you all this data for free. We do need to use the premium version. But in general, the free one is sufficient for anything you need to do. And yeah, so again, Lynn is asking, how much should I charge for SEO? With SEO, it's not just set pricing. Anyone that gives you set pricing, I would be a little skeptical, because if someone's saying this is how much SEO costs, that's not true, because every website is different. Your website might have 5 pages, or you might be an e-commerce website with 10,000 products, or you might be a small business with 20 pages, or you might have been doing SEO for 6 months and had all this done for you. It really depends on a lot of different variables. How much SEO has been done to your website? If you're a brand new company, it's going to be a lot more work than someone that's been doing SEO for months and months and months. If you have a few pages, it'll be a lot easier than someone that has a lot of pages. But then it really comes down to the keywords. The more competitive your keywords are, the more time it's going to take to build backlinks to get you ranked up higher. So if you do want me to check out your website or anyone's website, I'll pull that back up. It was in here. If you go to SEOoptimizers.com/free, I'll check out your website and give you analysis from an SEO point of view. And if anyone still wants to learn more, because you can see with 40 or 50 minutes that we've gone into this, there's a lot I still want to talk about, a lot of questions. I wish I could help out everyone right now, but there is a lot, and unfortunately, so keep coming back to the weekly classes. I'll keep doing them every week. and I'll send everyone a copy or a link to that one. And other than that, I appreciate everyone for coming out. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy. And if you don't have any more questions, or if you want to email me later, I'm happy to go over anything and try to give back and help out as much as possible. I really appreciate everyone for sticking in. We stayed a little bit longer for this webinar, but again, you can see analytics is so very important. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate everyone for coming out, and I hope to see you on Saturday or next Wednesday at 1 p.m. And I'll send out that link to everyone. Once again, I really appreciate everyone for taking that time out today, and hope to see you next week. And just be on the lookout in the next couple hours. I'll hopefully be sending out I'll send out the follow-up email with all the information. Thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of your day, and have a great week.